Okay, so I'm gonna show you how to schedule things on EMS. So this is the Bloomsburg website. It's bloomu.edu/reservations. Then you go down to here and click on EMS reservations. You can also just Google EMS reservations, Bloomsburg. It'll prompt you to sign in. I'm already signed in, but you just sign in with your Bloomsburg username and password. Then you're in here. So these are all the different types of reservations you can make. So the only thing that you're really going to want to schedule is multi-purpose spaces and outdoor space. So the outdoor space is just for the quad, pretty much. Or it can also be for like the student service patio for the inclusion event or any other outdoor event you want to do. Multi-purpose space is used for our events, so that would be like the ballroom and I think it's multi-purpose A and B. So there's also one more, which would be classroom. So classroom is actually what we use for the meetings because that is technically a classroom. So I'll show you how to do classroom first. So you click book now. And then the first thing you're going to want to do is, well, I guess pick your date first. So say you wanted to do May or April 8th at 8 p.m. Next thing you want to do is put 200 as your number of people. Then it'll bring up your options. So you always want to make sure that you have the 200 people because I feel like that's a pretty good number. We probably won't have 200, but it's probably always good to get a room that will have room for that many people just in case. So then what we usually do is Heartline 108. That one's usually open. You could also do 1303, 2303 if they're open. They're usually not, but Heartline usually is. So what you do is then you add that, add room, standard as is. Then you go to next step, services. If you want to add any notes to them, you can put them there. Reservation details. This is where you just put like Best Buddies General Meeting. You go down, click Meeting. First contact name, you can put yourself. Second contact, you can put Dr. Zills. Anyone attending this event who is not an employee, so you just say no, internal event. Once again, just say it's a meeting. No, this is basically just for BU participants. And no, it's not a fundraiser. Then you click create reservation, and then you will have that reservation. So if you go back to the beginning, you can go to my events, and that's where you can see all the things that you've scheduled so far to kind of keep track of it, and you can go back and make sure that everything reserved correctly. So now let's go through an event. So let's say we want to do a multi-purpose space. So we'll do book now. I'm not sure if anything's going to pop up just because they're not going to reserve anything for the rest of the semester. But see, it goes all the way to August and September. So it's weird that I couldn't go any further for the classroom, which is kind of weird. But for the multi-purpose, like for student orgs, it looks like scheduling is open. So say you wanted to do October 10th for the event at 10 a.m. or do like 10. Yeah, I always do it like pretty early, like maybe 3. I don't know. Just because you do have to kind of think you're going to be there for the 2 hours of the event, and then you also probably want an hour or two of setup, so you want at least like 4 hours. And you search. Oh, whoops. See? Okay, so you got 200 people. Search. There we go. So now the ballroom 1, 2, and 3 is open. So say you wanted to take that one, you can add it, setup type. You can do rectangular tables, round tables, U-shape. And if you want to actually work through this with the scheduling person, which is Christy, which I'll send you her email, she's super helpful, and she'll definitely set up a time with you and like go through the actual diagram and see if you want like these tables here, or like she'll go through like what your vision for the event is, which is super helpful. So let's just say banquet style, because that's what we usually do, the round tables. We'll add that. Then we'll go to next step. Then if you want to add any of this stuff, you can. I don't typically add too much. I would just keep in mind if you're gonna do anything in particular for the event, like if you want to tell them to put the screen down to make sure the computer's accessible. If you want microphones, you can add them in here. Extra trash cans, you can add those in here. I'm trying to think of anything else you would need to add. Power strips, extension cables, they can give you those. Think of anything else. I think I said microphones. So yeah, anything in here. And then if you do happen to forget easels. I always forget to put easels in here. But if you want to put like signs up, you should request a couple of easels. But if you do, say you reserve this and then you forget to add something, you can always go back and add it later on. Or you can even send Christy an email and she'll add it in there for you. If there's any additional notes or anything that you don't see on here that you want to like write in, you can put it there. Then you go to next step. And this is kind of the same thing as the meeting. You put in what the event name is. So this would be like Halloween event type. I always do social gathering. Just down here, social gathering. Once again, first contact, you'd put yourself. Second contact, probably Dr. Zills. It's an internal event. And this is all just the same stuff down here. And then they ask about music, so you could do like, yes, like dinner background music. And yes, bringing your own food is typically what we do. And then you just create the reservation right down here, and then you're good. So then going back to the beginning, the only one I haven't shown you is the outdoor space. So this is just used for the quad, or I only ever use it for like the inclusion event. If you ever want to do, trying to think of anything else you'd want to do outside, but if you do think of anything that you want to do, you'd schedule it through here. Not sure if this is going to be open either. It is. Okay, so if you wanted to do the picnic event, say the 26th, which is a Saturday, and you wanted to start it at 10 to like 2, search. And then there you go, quad lawn. So the cap is, see, I always forget to do this. You got to do 200 people at least, and then search. So the quad lawn is open for September 26th. So if you wanted to take that, you just click on that. Setup, standard as is. Trying to remember how I did this. So then you go to the services, additional event notes. I think what you might want to do is, instead of doing standard as is, you might want to make it like rectangular tables or customized, and then put in the event description that you want tables, and they'll probably reach out to you, and they'll also send a service. I think Dr. Zills will have to approve your request for them, because it's a weekend and maintenance has to set it up outside and just a bunch of tables. So I think he'll have to approve it too, but they'll probably reach out to you if you put customized rectangular tables for 200 people, and they'll work with you on that, because that's what happened with me. So I'd put that in here, like, we need like 25 rectangular tables, or tables for 200, or whatever you want to put in there, and then they'll reach out to you most likely. Then you do like picnic event, social gathering, same thing here, just contact name. You don't have to worry about the drag and drop your files, like attachments. That's only if you were to have like the setup diagram and you like edited it yourself and put it in there, which I never did. So you don't really have to worry about that. Rain location, you can reserve the quad for multiple days, which I highly recommend doing. Like reserve it for a Saturday and a Sunday, and just put in like right here, rain location. Yes, we have a rain location. And then like put the name of this one, picnic event, and then reserve the next day and put picnic event rain date, and they'll understand what you mean. So does this require any setup of chairs, tables? Then you'd say yes. You don't need police assistance. If you choose to use a grill, you'll have to specify it here. to then type your advisor's first name and last name because they have to approve all outdoor space requests. And then pretty much the same thing from there. So then for the inclusion event, book outdoor space. Let's go to like October, Wednesday. You'll probably just want to put like 15 people maybe, or for bake sales or anything like that if you want to do it outside. Student service patio, so you see right there, you can click on it. There's also like the Centennial patio, and just library patio, so you can take any of those. We usually do the student service patio. You click on that, and then you can do rectangular tables. You can just specify that you want 2 rectangular tables, because that's probably all you need. And then you can ask for extra chairs, and pretty much whatever you ask for, they'll leave for you because it's outdoors. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it scheduling wise. Okay, so yeah, I'll just end it here, and if you have questions, obviously, ask me.